Hey guys, how's it going? It's Tarkan back with another video. And I have a viewer comment today that I want to reply to. It's a comment that, this person has a question that I believe I've addressed before, but I'm going to address it again. I think it's an important topic, and I'm sure many people, as new people come to the channel, of course, they're not always going to watch all the videos or have watched all the videos that I've uploaded. So it's understandable that I'm going to get questions, repeat questions, right, from viewers. So this one is from 𝗙ecie. Hi, 𝗙ecie, or Steffi, but I'm going to say 𝗙ecie because that's the German way to say it. And 𝗙ecie says, hi, Tarkan. First of all, thank you so much for all your videos. Well, you're welcome. Thanks for watching. Your videos hit right on the spot. Good. I have a question hoping you can answer. What if my SP, my specific person, has limiting beliefs like, I wish we could be together, but my parents will never agree. I love my parents. I can never go against them and make them unhappy. If I take you home, they will be devastated, etc., etc. Now, I know that circumstances do not matter, correct? And I should focus on my beliefs and my self-concept. But I keep hearing these negative beliefs from my specific person every other day, and it's kind of hard not to let his thoughts affect mine. How do I go about changing his limiting beliefs? I'd really appreciate a reply. So first of all, you're absolutely correct. Circumstances do not matter. Now let me touch on that for just a second because it's an important concept. Because we get caught up in the circumstances of our physical reality. We want to change certain circumstances, but we keep looking at what's going on outside of us. And of course, as a result of that, we think because we've been taught this as we grow up through society and whatever it is, that we're somehow separate from our physical reality, that there are things outside of us happening to us that are beyond our control. But of course, from a manifesting standpoint, we're going to say that's nonsense. We say that everything outside of you in your physical reality, the circumstances in your life, the people that show up, the way in which they show up, are all a reflection of your inner state, your concerns, your beliefs about things. Okay? Now, when we say circumstances do not matter, now I take that from Bashar, who's channeled by Daryl Anka. If you guys don't know, Bashar is very interesting. And, Bashar always says this as a joke, kind of a joke, but it's more like a word play. Circumstances do not matter, only state of being matters. And of course, the word play there is that circumstances do not create matter. They do not create reality. Your inner being creates reality. Your state of being, your internal state of being creates reality. Or your physical reality, or the way that you experience your physical reality. Again, it's a mirror reflecting back to you your beliefs. So what does that mean, right? Your inner state. That we have deep held beliefs about things, about relationships, about the nature of relationships, about money and the nature of money, about ourselves and our self-image, about health, about all these things. We have these internal beliefs that we've picked up over time. Whether they're our beliefs originally or we've picked up other people's beliefs like our family, our parents, our teachers, growing up, the media, whatever it is, doesn't matter. You've adopted them as your own at some point. And they're so deeply ingrained in us, or they're so common, we've practiced them for so long that we don't notice them, right? So, Abraham Hicks always talks about this. If you really want to know what you're creating, if you really want to know what your inner state is and what your beliefs are, what your limiting beliefs are, take a look at what you're manifesting. Take a look at the circumstances and the things showing up in your life and the people and the way they show up in your life. And that will tell you where you've got some limiting beliefs going on. Okay? Because here's what I'm going to take some issue with, 𝗙ecie, and I'm going to say this to everybody out there, and it's very important to remember this. This is not about changing their beliefs. Okay? If you've got a specific person out there and you're asking me a question, how do I change his beliefs? Because his beliefs are the problem. His behavior is the problem. I must change the external circumstance. Because if I can change the external circumstance, then I can manifest what I want. When in fact, you can only manifest what you want when you change your inner state of being, your beliefs about things. So when you have him show up in this way, saying things to you like, we can never be together because my parents don't like it. They're going to be unhappy. They'll be devastated if we're together. They'll never agree to this union, etc., etc. What you're hearing is him reflecting back to you some deeply ingrained limiting beliefs that you have going on. So this is your clue. This is an opportunity for you to understand, oh, I've got some limiting beliefs around this. Now, your limiting beliefs around the relationship or any relationship, and if you look at your life and your past relationships, you might find, even in your friendships, even in your non-romantic relationships, you might find similar circumstances showing up. Okay? And if that's the case, and I'm gonna bet that that is the case, then that tells you that it's about your limiting beliefs. It's not about changing his limiting beliefs. Remember, you can't change his beliefs. You can change yours, and that way what reflects back to you changes according to the way you change your beliefs, okay? So, or what you change your beliefs to. So when you have, maybe you don't have limiting beliefs specifically around parents approving of relationships, but you have a limiting belief going on that says that relationships are difficult to obtain. Difficult to obtain and difficult to maintain, okay? That there are always going to be issues and problems and obstacles for you to overcome to have a happy relationship. So take a look at that, okay? Really take a look at that and say, well, what would I have to believe in order for this to be true? This is a great kind of reverse engineer way to determine what your limiting beliefs are, where they lie specifically, is to go, well, if this is a circumstance that I'm manifesting in my life, and if it seems to be something that I'm manifesting repeatedly, then what would I have to believe in order for that to occur in my physical reality? So kind of backtrack from there a little bit, deconstruct it, reverse engineer it a little bit, and you'll be able to say, oh, I have a belief around relationships. Maybe it could be a very basic statement like, I believe relationships are complicated and difficult. Love is difficult. Love is sticky and tricky. I mean, you have all these cliches that we're always hearing from the movies that are constantly being reinforced in us, right? When we say from a manifesting standpoint, it's easy. Things are easy. That's the whole point of manifesting. If ever you're manifesting something and it seems to be difficult and you seem to be coming up with a lot of obstacles, what's going on there is that you have resistance going on. And the resistance is likely happening in the form of limiting beliefs that you're carrying with you. Okay, so this is not about changing him or his limiting beliefs, Steffi, and anybody out there thinking the same thing. Remember, you got to really, when we say circumstances don't matter, but how do I change his beliefs around this issue? You're saying that circumstances do matter. So you haven't really embraced that idea that circumstances don't matter because you're still trying to get him to change in order to be happy. Right? And I run up against this again and again and again and again. I see a lot of people doing this. They go, well, I've been more positive. I've been more this. They think they have, but then they go right back to kind of, and this kind of betrays what they're really thinking and believing about a situation is that they go, well, how do I change them? How do I get them to show up better? How do I get them? Because I need them to change for me to be happy. If only the external reality would change, then I could manifest what I want much easier. But you're doing it ass backwards, okay? You can't expect to change him and then say, well, now it'll be easier to manifest a relationship. The reason it's been difficult and complicated is because you have some limiting beliefs around this, okay? And that's why he's showing up with all these issues. If it wasn't him saying, hey, my parents don't agree, I don't want this, it would be somebody else saying, maybe it would be your parents disagreeing, or whatever it is. It's going to come out in some way. It's going to manifest in some way. So that's your indication. It's an opportunity to go, oh, I've got limiting beliefs going on around this subject. What are they? What would I have to believe in order for this to be happening in my life repeatedly? What would I have to believe in order for him, this specific person, to show up in this way and to say these things to me? Okay? So you need to start thinking about what those are. And maybe it is that, yes, relationships are difficult and complicated and there's always going to be obstacles to overcome. That might be a limiting belief that you have. You might have a limiting belief saying, I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough for him or for any kind of relationship. So in other words, I'm not worthy. And in fact, I might even say that here because the way that it's bouncing back to you through him, the way it's reflecting back to you through him is through somebody not approving of you. his parents, okay? It seems like you have a limiting belief going on around, I'm not good enough to be accepted by somebody. I'm not worthy enough to be accepted by somebody. So then therefore it comes, this belief, this limiting belief now reflects back to you through this specific person saying to you, my parents are not going to accept you. They'll never agree to this relationship. They don't like you. They don't want you. They don't want me to be with you. This is a reflection of you thinking that about yourself. Now, you may not consciously be thinking this. You may not be going around your day going, I'm not worthy. People don't like me. Nobody wants to be, I'm not acceptable. I'm not worthy of being with somebody. You may not be consciously doing that, but that's what you've got going on subconsciously. Okay. So again, to uncover that subconscious limiting belief, this is kind of the process you want to undergo. You want to go, let's reverse engineer this situation. Why would this be happening? What would I have to believe, just like I just did with you? What would I have to believe in order for this to be true? Now, once you've kind of identified that, okay, and let's say it is about worthiness, all right? And I would venture to say that it is, okay? But I encourage you to do your own kind of self-examination, because that's a skill that's going to really serve you in life, okay? You're not going to always have me around to tell you or somebody to guide you through this. But, learn to kind of do some self-examination and really look at every situation in your life that seems to be unwanted, that you don't like, and try to reverse engineer it in this way and say, what are my limiting beliefs around this? So if it is about, say, your worthiness to be in a relationship, your limiting belief that maybe you're not acceptable, you're not good enough to be with somebody, well, that's the part you want to work on then. And how do you work on that? Well, you want to build up your confidence, okay? You want to say, I'm good enough. You want to start affirming those things, okay? Do that regularly. You want to start imagining that you're good enough, okay? You want to work on your self-confidence, basically. I mean, that's what it comes down to. And whatever it is that you need to do or think or practice in order to build up your self-confidence, do those things, okay? And again, these are things that you kind of play around with. Try a little bit of this, try a little bit of that, okay? Whatever it is that sometimes all that's needed is changing your daily routine just a little bit, okay? Whatever it is to feel good about yourself. I'm going to take on a project. I'm going to take on a challenge of some kind. Whatever's going to help you feel good about yourself and whatever's going to help you feel that you're worthy of things, okay, of yourself. Write that you're worthy of good things and the things that you want. Write lists of positive aspects about yourself. This is very powerful and people underestimate this. And sometimes it comes down to laziness. I get it. And it's not always easy to sit down, especially when you have limiting beliefs going on around your worthiness. And self-esteem, to sit down and think of nice things about yourself that you like. But it's so important and it's so powerful. You'll see that once you get started, it'll get easier and easier. And suddenly you're thinking of 100 things about yourself that you love. And it could be a simple thing. I love my smile. I love my eyes. I love this part of my body. I love, these character traits I have, these personality traits I have. I love how I'm good at this. I love how I'm good at that. Okay. These are things you want to write down. You want to reinforce the belief in yourself that you're worthy. And as you do that, you'll start to see things in your physical reality shift accordingly. The more you practice the new belief, remember, don't try to get rid of an old belief. Simply override it with a new one. Okay. You're installing a new operating system. All right. So people try to break a habit. Stop trying to break habits. Just identify the bad habit. Introduce the better habit. That's it. Okay. The new habit, the more you practice it, it will dominate the old habit. So the old habit will just slip into the background. It won't matter anymore. Okay. You'll start to see things shift, and you may even start to see him shift the way he shows up. Okay. That's the way to do this, Steffi, and everybody else out there thinking the same thing. Stop trying to change them. In fact, I did a video. I did a video about this. Maybe you've seen it, maybe you haven't. Stop trying to change them or something like that. If you look through my videos, you'll find it. It's the same concept. Stop trying to change the other person. Stop trying to get them to show up differently so that you can feel good about yourself, because this is the way we've been doing things and it's not manifesting. That's the old limiting way of doing things. You want to start changing. You want to start relying on your own sense of yourself, your own sense of self-worth, your own sense of your own value. And if you feel you have something in the way, an old limiting belief in the way, it's keeping you from from feeling that about yourself, then you need to start practicing very, very hardcore self-love, self-appreciation, and self-acceptance and self-respect. Okay? So that's very important. So I'm going to tell you, this is the absolute way to go about it. Stop trying to change him. In fact, if he's kind of showing up in this way, maybe stay away from him for a little while. Maybe don't communicate quite as much for a while, and really take the time to go inside and to work on your sense of self-worth, your worthiness, because so much, that's actually a number one limiting belief, a number one major limiting belief that most people have, especially when it comes to manifesting. And it could be in anything. It could be with money and good health, relationships, as in your case, is that we think we're not worthy. Okay? We think we're not worthy of having the things that we want. And that's one of the top major limiting beliefs that people carry that keeps them from attaining that keeps them from manifesting the things that they want very easily. Because once you kind of overwrite that belief system that you're not worthy, you start adopting the belief that you are worthy, things start changing because the universe is always going to agree with you. If you say I'm unworthy, it's going to go, yes, you're unworthy. Here's all the evidence to show that. Here's all the things to show that, to back that up. Here's the reflection of that belief. If you start saying I am worthy, the universe will go, yes, you're worthy. Okay, here's all the things to support that idea, that belief. And you'll see after a while, you'll understand that it's not the external circumstance that's causing this. It's not his behavior that's causing your unhappiness or it's causing your difficulty. That it's you. Because if you were to say, hey, I'm done with this specific person, I give up on him, I'm going to go with somebody else, chances are you're going to have similar issues cropping up. And you're going to have similar issues cropping up in all of your relationships. Okay? Be they friendships, family relationships, work relationships, romantic relationships. Chances are, if you really sit down and examine them, you're going to find elements of this kind of thing showing up in all of those relationships. That tells you right there that it's you, okay? Not the blame on you, but that you've been practicing some limiting beliefs unknowingly, subconsciously, but now you have an opportunity to look at that. This is kind of where we say it's a wonderful thing that sometimes these difficulties happen in life, especially when you're embarking on the manifesting path. Things can seem like there's obstacles all of a sudden, right? Well, these obstacles show up to serve you. They're not there to punish you or to make your life more difficult. They're there to show you where you need to be working on some areas so that you can then proceed and move forward with manifesting the life that you want. Okay? So the universe is helping you by putting these obstacles in your way. Use them that way. Okay, use these things as not as things to make you feel bad or think, oh, I got to give up or it's so difficult, but as opportunities to help you identify, oh, I'm on my way to getting to where I want to be. So why is this thing in my way? Well, here's the limiting belief I got to work on. So I work on that and then my path is clear again. Because you got to remember the universe, your inner being, your higher being, that larger part of you that's still focused and non-physical. The moment you have a desire, sometimes it knows your desire before you even consciously understand your desire, okay? The moment you have it, it begins to vibrate and tune itself accordingly to immediately to manifest that thing immediately. So your inner being has already manifested what you want. And now it's guiding you towards that. You're the one that now needs to adjust your radio dial, your frequency, your tuner to the way that your inner being is looking at the situation. And the way that you do that is to pay attention to how you react to your thoughts, okay? If you have a limiting belief, it's going to feel bad to you. When it feels bad, that's your inner being directly communicating with you, saying, we don't see it that way. You need to shift the way you're looking at this. And as you shift, you'll feel better. As you have a better feeling thought, that's your inner being going, aha, now you're looking at the situation the way that we're looking at the situation, that your inner being is looking at the situation. Now you're on your path again towards manifesting that thing. So pay attention to how things feel to you. You know, the idea of changing his limiting beliefs, again, you're barking up the wrong tree with that, okay? It's not his limiting beliefs that you need to change. You've got some going on in there that you need to work on and identify and use this as an opportunity to do so, okay? So I hope that's helped you, 𝗙ecie, and everybody out there watching this. If it has, if you like the cut of my jib, please hit subscribe if you haven't done so already. Hit the little bell thingy so you'll know when I upload. I know I haven't been uploading that frequently. I've been bouncing around and working on other things for a little while, but I'm going to get back into the groove of things very soon, guys. Comment on this video if you like. Share it with anyone you think might benefit from it. And thank you guys for watching. And until next time, I'm 𝗙Con. Goodbye and happy manifesting.